my fellow readers, this is I, Dark Symphony 777 with episode 4 of Archetypal Artistry. Yes, it is back. The series where I look at a group of Yu-Gi-Oh cards or any future cards, if I so wish to extend this past Yu-Gi-Oh, and rate the artwork on the card on a scale of F to A. So, episode 4, we are nearing Castlevania week. And I wanted to honor the whole idea of Castlevania by looking at the vampire archetype. Now, from an aesthetic standpoint, the vampire archetype are really cool. Like, I can't think of a really bad one, so I don't think I'm going to give any of them any less than like a B. Unless I get like really, really toxic and really, really critical. But this would probably be like one of the more higher rated, like from a purely like what they look like in aesthetic. They look really, really cool. It's all based off, you know, horror figures or famous murderers, like in the case of like people related to do with like vampire lore and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So I'm actually going to be. Here's the main page. Here's Vampire. This is an actual archetype. So let's get started. Wait until the final card in the end. Yeah, you're gonna be surprised what it looks like. Let's get started. First off, we have Vampire Lady. Here you go. This is based off Carmilla. And honestly, just look at that. She has that sultry face saying, "You're gonna ravish me, darling." All the way with like the little sprinkles on her hand, like the hand like corset, her little dress. I don't know what they're called, being like wings. Like I am not even gonna joke. And some of like the earliest cards, they're kind of like samey. So like the first couple cards I'm not going to be able to go into like much detail on them because they all look like similar, but once we get past like the first couple, then we'll be able to like dissect them more. But as for Carmilla, just look at the artwork. We have the dress. Oh my god, her just lounging, and it perfectly matches who Vampire Lady is based off. Because if you don't know, Carmilla, it actually predates Dracula by about 14-15 years. Like Carmilla, like people think Dracula was the first, like, the vampire guy. He was the guy who created the whole vampire phenomenon. No, Carmilla was first. It's just the person who wrote her didn't really publish it outside of France. I believe Carmilla, like, it took a while for Carmilla to leave France, London, that United Kingdom, that area, and it didn't really publish outside of that little area, like in France and Europe. But Bram Stoker, when he made Dracula, he published it everywhere, and more people just came to associate Dracula more with vampires than Carmilla, despite the fact Carmilla was first. And she was more like a prototype vampire, where she didn't actually drink blood. Carmilla was loosely based off Elizabeth Bathory. Bathory was a prolific serial killer from Austria. She's called the Blood Countess, and she's currently like she has the highest kill count of any female serial killer in history, to the point where we know at very minimum she killed like 20 something people. But it's been speculated that she's killed like 40, 50, 60, like 60 plus people. No one really knows how many people exactly she killed. We just know it was way more than 20. We just don't know an exact number. But for someone that's based off Carmilla, who's based off Bathory, this is actually pretty good. There's actually another card later that's more based off Bathory. I'll talk more about her. But from this looking like Carmilla, she looks she actually looks like kind of like Circle of the Moon Carmilla. What Carmilla looked like in Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of like Castlevania-esque aesthetics in this episode as well. But I do like the fact that parts of the dress are wings. The dress is amazing. She has that sultry look, which is basically right? Not what I wanted. I didn't mean to click on that because Carmilla didn't drink blood. She drank beauty and age. So basically, the story she was in, she's basically like a lonely girl. She has like an umbrella, and she becomes friends with this rich girl. And as the story progresses, the ritual actually gets sicker and sicker. And the family and also another friend of hers find out Carmilla is actually stealing her youth, and so she's slowly aging from the inside. She still looks young on the outside, but on the inside, her body is actually slowly withering because Carmilla just actually wants to live forever, which is basically what Bathory did. She basically killed all these people as an attempt to try and stay young. But on the design of this, I would actually give this an A. We're already off to a great start. Let's continue. We got Vampire's Curse. Yeah, here's Big Daddy Dracula. Here's the first of Dracula cards. Like several cards are based off Daddy Drac. And I like the armor look, like the solemn look. He has the one winged. I think each card that's based off Dracula is like loosely based off a different Dracula design in Castlevania. And I think this design was based off what he looked like in Lament. Let me actually look that up. Dracula Lament of what did he look like in that game? Yeah, he kind of looks like him, like in Lament. Kind of, sort of, because I think this card was made in like 2003, 2004. So, I mean, he could look like that in Curse. I don't even know. But it's an okay looking card. Like he's still wearing the dress. Like he's still wearing like a dress shirt and underneath. Like, hold on, I'm in a dance party. Let me just put on. Okay, I got my shoulder pads on. Let's go punch someone. He kind of looks solemn, but he looks like if Dracula was your typical anime shonen boy. Which does not look good. Like, the only problem I have is the face. He just looks so anime-esque that it's not even funny. And we haven't even gotten to Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker is just crazy ridiculous. This Vampire Sucker is near the end. I put her near the end on purpose. But I like, like, the cloak is actually a wing, and he has, like, one as a cloak, one as a wing. I do like that. I do like the pauldrons having, like, the armor and the spikes, stuff like that. The color scheme is actually pretty good. The background having, like, a mist because... No, I think he's based off Dracula from Simon's Curse, from Dracula from Castlevania 2, because the name Dracula's Curse. I mean, Vampire's Curse. I think that's... Yeah, I think... Hold on, let me... Simon's Quest... Dracula. Like, what does he look like in Simon's Quest? Like, I'm kind of curious. Oh, he's just a skeleton. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I give it a B plus. It's the face that kills it. The face just completely kills it. I don't like the face. I like everything except for the face. Like, and even the hair. The hair is just like, let's make Dracula and give him typical anime shonen hair. That will make it look good. It's like, no. So we're gonna do it. No, don't do it. And then meet this guy. It's just the face. The face just completely ruined it. I just realized I need to put Lady back on. Where is she? Because I got to, like, at the end. I always rate it at the end. I always look through the list again and then rate it and tell you my favorite and my least favorite. Next up, we have the original. We have Vampire Lord. This guy looks awesome. He honestly looks like he's ready to fuck some shit up. Like the gigantic hand, like he has like gigantic hands acting like parts of his cloak. And with like his cape just being attached, it was like, oh, he like killed someone, decided I'm gonna turn his hand into a decoration to spite him, just attach it to his back and then just put like cloth in it. It also has that spatial quality because it's loosely based on, because I think this whole thing references the fact that when Vampire Lord dies by card effect, he comes back the next turn. Like, you have to destroy him by battle. Like, you have to destroy him by battle. The problem is, when this guy was on top, it was basically just, who can summon Vampire Lord and first wins. Like, alright, I summoned Vampire Lord, you better scoop. Because you're gonna play like Raigeki and Mirror Force and Dark Hole, and then next turn you'll just say, I'm back. I'm back. You can't do nothing. But yeah, I think this is a really classy card. And this card, I think, came out in like 2003? I believe it came out in like 2003. This guy is really old. And the fact he still looks this good from over 15 years ago really tells that when Konami makes like really good artwork, they make really good artwork. Well, how would I rate? I'm so tempted to rate this an S. No, an A+. Because this guy is just that good. Let's see, we have, he's classic Dracula. But he has that cool cape. He has the cowl. He even has, like, the hair. Even the hair is better than in this. Like, I would take this hair, this slightly emo-esque hair over this, like, this, I don't know, they probably just looked at Trigun's face and just put his face over on here. Someone must have been a fan of Trigun and just, hey, let's put his face on there. But this guy looks intimidating. He looks like Dracula. He looks like he's ready to just maim someone, and he has his fingers right in a snap, ready to like send his army right after you. The claw into the cape. It is so he's incredibly intimidating. The fact is, the inside of his cape actually looks like an endless void, like something from Gigan. And I mean, I guess you can deduct some points from the background because the background is stupid looking. Because it's just an endless void, but in the weird sort of way, it kind of works. Because of how Dracula is, it's Dracula. But if this was like, I guess, based off Limited Innocence, and this is based off classic Dracula. Like Dracula from, like, the first game. Yeah, I give this an A+. No, I give him an A because I do not like that background. That background just conflicts. If this was a darker shade, like a red, to contrast with his color scheme, he would have been an easy A+. Like, I would not have hesitated. But that background is just, I'm so conflicted on it. Next up, Vampire Genesis. This is basically Vampire Lord on steroids. You know how Dracula always has that second form where you hit in games, you hit him in the head and he turns into like a big monster, and then you can just hit him anywhere now? And this is him. This is Dracula. This is Vampire Lord going, "You fool! This isn't even my final form." The problem is, the one thing I never liked about Dracula's second forms in the games, they look so ridiculous. Like Dracula by himself is always intimidating, but the moment he transforms, he always turns into the dopest, stupid designs ever. It's always something stupid. Honestly, look through it. The only time where he has a second form that's intimidating as hell is Dracula X Chronicles. and that is the the Rondo of Blood version. Even Symphony of the Night, he looks ridiculous. He's not even a monster. He's just Dracula sitting on like a amalgamation of like wacko, like a pseudo reference to Metroid. And he's like just sitting on a throne, and like his throne's attacking you. It just looks ridiculous. I'm dead serious. Just look at Dracula's forms throughout the Castlevania series. Ignore what he looked like Dracula. Focus on what he didn't look like Dracula. It always looks ridiculous, except for Dracula X Chronicles and maybe Circle of the Moon. Those are like the only ones where he didn't look derpy as fuck. I guess if that's what they were going for when they designed this guy, they nailed it. This guy's derpy. You had such you just had badassness with this, and you turned him into that. That is. So what are the pros? There are none. I think this guy takes the cake for like the worst looking card in the archetype. This guy, yeah, his cloak kind of becomes like a gigantic owl / wings, but it does not look good. I forgot how bad this guy looked. I thought when I was going into this, there was not going to be any bad looking vampires, and then I saw this guy. It's like, oh no, I forgot there was this guy. He looks so stupid. So let's go through him. First off, he looks like he's been pumping too much iron. He looks like King DDD and Planet Revolt swole DDD. He's like, you like DDD going on some steroids, and I'm gonna clobber that damn Kirby Bay. Said I'm gonna clobber that damn Belmont. He has like a grotesque mouth with like these two tongues. Nothing about this guy works. I mean, he has like the claw belt. I mean, okay. The coloring at least looks good. I at least have to give the design that. Like if it was any color besides his like royal purple-esque look, I don't know if it's royal purple or puce. I think it's puce. It would not look as good because I swear if they colored this guy red, it would probably be one of the worst looking cards I've ever seen. And there are bad looking. There's literally a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Dr. Frankenberg. I swear to God, someone must have been high and watching too much Phineas and Ferb when they designed what he looked like. But oh god damn it, this guy. Oh. The claws, he's basically saying, come at me, bro. I want a gigantic box now. Even the action shots to kind of showcase how big he truly is does not work when he looks like that. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's so much wrong with him. There's so much wrong with him. He's missing groin. It's like, I don't have a groin. I lost my dick now. I'm gonna kill this guy for making me lose my dick. Okay, here's an anime look. He looks even worse in the anime! I didn't think that was possible! He looks even worse! There's bad and then there's really bad. It's just... That is just... What is it? It gets worse. Oh, that's actually funny. That is laughably bad. I'll take this over this any day. Actually laughing so hard I'm crying. I'm actually tearing up right now. F. No. I'll give you a D- because you hate this guy. on the card art, the coloring looks good. No, he looks stupid even with the coloring. Okay, let's continue. So that way I can just move on from this. Shadow Vampire. So you're basically Vampire Dracula's Curse. This is Simon's Quest Dracula, a ghost, or he's Harmony of Dissonance guy. Isn't like Harmony of Dissonance you fight Dracula's ghost? Let me actually look. No, I guess you could. No, this guy is just. This guy looks okay. I like the cross. I guess you could say this is Alucard. I mean, this is probably as close as you're gonna get to Alucard because he has the sword and he has the shield. I like the armor. I don't like the head, and I don't like the bottom half because, well, I get it's supposed to be called Shadow Vampire, but this just, I have mixed feelings on this. I don't think it's bad. I think it's very bland though. Like armor, I like the design of the armor. I really wish we could have saw more of this art. I think this is one of those cases where they decided to like cut off, like they decided to cut off like what the full card's going to be look like, and instead we're just stuck with like a half-finished monster. I guess that's the point, but it just really doesn't work. I give it a B- because I do like the upper half. I do like the armor. The coloring scheme is actually what coloring scheme? I think this is supposed to be based off. I think this is based off Alucard. I'm not sure, but he's not bad. Like he's not bad upper, like lower. It destroys how good he could have been. So next one, Vampire Sorcerer. Wow, you do not look that good. Well, we have the finger thing, so now he's like part of his cloak. And he's like, hold on. Like Dracula Lord, Vampire Lord just walked up to him and said, hold on, you need the claws. Like, what claws? There you go. Now, Vampire Lord approved. The coloring scheme, it doesn't work. The coloring scheme does. The red worked, but I guess the grayish brown, it really doesn't. I mean, that's my main problem. This is first off, the background's horrible again, and second off, the coloring scheme. I mean, the red and the purple they fit, but this horrible brown, it doesn't work. I don't know if that's grayish brown or just straight up like dusty brown, but it really doesn't work. I think it would have made, if it was a couple shades darker, it would have worked better because it would have flowed much better with the color scheme. Like even like it's my main concern with this card is the color scheme's just off because you have the purple and the red that work pretty well, and then you have like literally all the card is surrounded by like this boring, drab, disgusting looking bland color that just does not work well with the color scheme. As for like outside of the color scheme, he's designed, it's alright. I wouldn't call it bad. I think they could have worked on the wand a little bit more. Like he's supposed to be a sorcerer, but that staff just does not. It just looks more like a whacking stick. It looks more like something you see Shio Gorath from Skyrim looking. And then suddenly, like he whacks someone and he sent them flying, like in that Skyrim glitch. A C+. It's just, he's bland. He's just very boring looking. Like, nothing stands out except for the color scheme, but the color scheme stands out in the absolutely wrong way. That he just ultimately ends up being boring. Next card. Here's Bathory, right here. Here she is, and she's drinking some wine. This was a stat. I would have loved to see. I actually think make sure to take this original design on this guy, and instead of adding this little that little thing, they kind of made it like a cage sort of thing. It would have worked much better. The color scheme looked magnificent. Like she looks like Bath 3. And this is let me actually show you what she looked like. Liz Bath 3. Like this is what she is supposedly look like. Where is she? That is actually pretty dang. Here's a better picture. That is actually pretty spot on for what Bath 3 looks like. Don't want to spoil that. That looks a lot like Bath 3. The color scheme looks amazing. The background with the mist looks amazing. The fact that they reference the fact that she supposedly drank blood. She supposedly drank blood and bathed in blood. It has actually been revealed the last couple of years that she didn't really bathe in blood. But it's unknown whether she drank blood. Like it's very likely that she did drink blood, just not bathed in it. Because if I remember right, they found like novellas, journals of her helpers. Like she had helpers, but we don't know how many she had. And apparently they did find that based on what it was written in the journal, it was very heavily implied that she did drink blood. Just like how Dracula was based off Vlad the Impaler, and everyone knew Vlad the Impaler actually drank blood. Like this is actually one of the first things you see when you do research about Vlad, is he actually drank blood. He did, unlike Bath 3 where we don't know for sure, Vlad actually drank blood. Granted, he did it as more of a psychological tactic. Vlad the Impaler was well known as the guy who created psychological warfare. And one of his favorite things to do to torture prisoners or traitors, they find the guy's relatives. He killed them. He cut them up. He cooked them. He would drain their blood and put them in like goblets. And then he actually feed the traitor or the prisoner, his family, while he's like somewhere nearby drinking their blood. Like this was not unlike Bath 3 where it's hinted and it's actually very implied that she did it. We know that Vlad actually did do it. Like we knew he drank blood. That's why, Vlad the Impaler was the inspiration by Dracula. And also the reason why Bath 3 was the inspiration for Camilla, because they didn't know if Bath 3 drank blood. Like I said, it's heavily implied that she did, but it hasn't been confirmed. It's just very heavily implied. But I do love this art. This art is amazing. The claws come back, but it accentuates the dress. For an old lady, she's stacked. She's stacked like a pancake. She has that flowery dress. Like, this is someone, like, if you showed me, and I only knew about Elizabeth Bathory, it's like, and if someone showed me that card, I would say, is that Bathory? And it's like, yeah, that's Bathory. It's like, this card is amazing. Like, she even trumps Vampire Lord. A+. This is just, everything about this card just oozes, like, intimidation factor. Like, she's ready to order your execution. Like, she has that staff ready, off with your head! This is just amazing. I actually think this is one of my favorite card arts ever in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I really love this art. This art's just that good. I just honestly wish the background was slightly better, or they do an errata, or like a card art where instead of the purple, its background is like part of a castle or something like that. To hammer in that reference, that would have been so much better. I would have given it an S+. I would have given it an S. I would have broke my own rating scale for her if that background was different. If that background had was some kind of open doors or kind of like royalty thing in the background, I would have pushed it way over the edge and broke the scale. Vampire Duke. Here's Daddy Drac again. This is obviously Portrait of Ruined Dracula. I don't think he's bad. Let me see if I can find a better card. Here's better. Here's a better card. He does look kind of off. I guess this. I get this one is more based off Portrait of Ruin, where he had the slick back hair. Well, he looked very young in Portrait of Ruin. He had the long flowing cape. He had the ascot. I like this, and I like the background. See, they should have done this with her. They should have done what they did with Duke with her. That would have been drop amazing. Giving her a proper background. Duke isn't bad. I do think he does look kind of blurry. I think that's more. No, that's the actual card on that. What the hell? Okay, that's probably the best I'm gonna do. He looks like slightly photorealistic to hammer home that this is probably the best looking Drac. He looks very suave. He has the cape. He has the arms and the cape spread out, saying, "I'm about to eat you. Enjoy. Come look at my abs." I think he's a bad card. I mean, this is not as good as Lord or Grace. Like, he's far and away not as good as Grace. I would say he's a B+. I don't think he's bad. I just think nothing stands out about him, honestly. Like, he's just there. He's just there. And next one, Crimson Knight Vampire Brahm. This is what Shadow Vampire should have been. Except this is Shadow Vampire. This is you basically have the armor, with more armor, all the claws everywhere, all the claws. The sword just saying, I do think this is far better than Shadow Vampire because it is Shadow Vampire. The armor again looks cool. I think the chest plate is a little too much. I actually would have liked it if here. If you kept the check piece right here for him, you just made it the cross, but now the cross is on the shield. That looks even better. This guy's basically, I think, Bram Stoker. Yeah, I think this is Bram Stoker, or at least the card that's based off Bram Stoker. He's not bad looking. I do think he's better than Shadow Vampire. I'm going to give him a B. I just think it's a little too much. I like the color scheme. The purple, honestly, the purple kind of fits for the vampires. It looks cool, especially with the mist creeping up. Like, he's a warrior coming out from the mist, about to like kill a vampire. He's probably just staring at this guy saying, "Yeah, I'm about to kill you," and he's like, "Oh, come as close as you like," and like some kind of JoJo reference. Yeah. I don't think he's bad, but I think it's too. Oh, I just noticed the cross is on his crotch now. Wow. But yeah, a B. I do think this is good, but not upper. But like I said, it's good. So this one is based off. This is actually based off Sheridan. Sheridan Lemrenault, who wrote Carmilla. This is based off the author. And I found this art, which actually had his legs, because the actual art actually kind of, where is he? Yeah, this is like his art without the background. Here we go. Like, no. Yeah, here we go. Like, this is what he looks like, but this one had, where is it? Crud, where is he? There it is. But I think this artwork is probably be the best one. It looks very fancy. He's ready for a ball. He has the cane with like the little skeletal thing. I guess you have to at least have a reference to like the claws somewhere on him. But instead they just put it part of his, I guess, his cape being bats and the moon. The color scheme is like, I think it's for him because he's supposed to be like more classy. He's supposed to be like a Amphier, like Alucard. I think it kind of worked not having the purple aesthetic and having him look just kind of really cool looking. I do think this is one of the better ones. Oh wait, no, there's the claws right there. Like, his claws are actually cow. He is one classy mofo. He's basically He's basically Vampire Duke with better. Like, loads better. Like, I would take this guy over Vampire Duke any day. I would walk up, I would shake his hand, I let him bite me, I let him slap me silly, and I would probably kick him in the nuts and not feel anything. Because this guy, to quote the Castlevania anime, is flirting Vampire Jesus. I had to. I couldn't resist. But yeah, this guy has a really cool look. I don't think it's as good as Grace. Like, I don't think Grace is going to be hard to beat. I think this guy came ridiculously close to beating Grace. I would give this card an A+ too. Right behind Vampire Grace. Right behind. He's just let me see if I can find a bigger picture of him. So I can actually no. There we go. See, like, he has the claws on his cape. Like, the color scheme is fantastic. The white and gold and the platinum of the scarf, as well as the purple and black, kind of like the little shades of purple throughout the skin, actually makes it pop, and just makes it so, just makes everything stand. The more and more I look at this card, the more I think it actually might be better than Grace. I still give it an A+. I don't like, now to actually look at the cane, I don't like the cane. Like, from far away, it looked pretty good, but close up, like, getting an actual look at the cane, it's actually looks really bad. But outside of the cane, everything looked amazing. Like, it felt like he's basically this guy, but this guy looks more anime-esque, but he looks just genuinely better. Like, it's not enough that he's overdone, but it's just enough that he looks like someone who is who's instead of, like, hunting, he's gonna lure you into his false sense of security. He's gonna invite you to dinner. He's going to, like, treat you nice. And then when you least decide, then he suckers you in. And he goes, "What are you doing?" "Foreplay. Enjoy it." It looks like someone you just want to be, who actually is like a rich friend. Like, this guy is one classy motherfucker. I really like this guy. I don't like the cane now. The cane from far away, that looks cool, but from up close, he did not need the cane. That's what I have to say. Like, that would be my only criticism. He really didn't like the cane. He did not need the cane. Like, it would have been better, like, instead of holding the cane, like, he had his hand, like up, like he's inviting you, like, to kind of hammer home the whole kind of he's wild, but, you know, it's very charismatic look. I also do like the back. Let me see if I can find a better background. Here we go. With, like, him with, like, a fence going on. I don't think the background was that good, but this guy is just amazing. Yeah, A+. He's right behind Grace. Grace is slightly better than this guy. Let's go to the next one. Vampire Familiar. It's basically just a bunch of bats. I mean, for bad, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad for just simply a bat. I mean, there have been worse bat designs in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but there have been better designed bat-looking monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! But this one looks like something from Castlevania. It actually looks like something of, like, Sheridan would summon and basically just, you know, fly around like options from Gradius or something like that. It's not bad. I give it a C+. I mean, it's just, there's nothing remarkable about it that stands out, except for, like, the background with the moon and Castle Dracula right there in the background. But it's boring. Like, that's. But again, there's not much you can do with a bat. Like, I appreciate the effort, A for effort, but it still comes out as, like, boring. That's my opinion. Next one. Vampire Fräulein. This is supposedly another one based off Carmilla. I mean, 10 out of 10. I was smashed. Like, let's get that out of the way. I like the umbrella. I'm guessing Igarashi looked like wanted to get inspiration for like his bosses. Saw Fraulein and said, "You know what? I'll make a boss on her," and then we get Bloodless because Bloodless. Actually, I think. Hold on. Hold on. Here's Bloodless. No, let me get no. Let me get an actual art. Here we go. Where is she? Holy shit! I am getting some. Yeah, they do look. They do look similar. Huh. Okay, so I guess we know where Igarashi got his inspiration for Bloodless from. He got it from Yu-Gi-Oh! I do think the background is amazing. Again, the background would have fit Grace much better. I don't think this is a bad looking card. But like the corset, I don't like the legs. Like those knees. Like what is up with those knees? Like what, is she like 8 feet tall? Like she has to be like really tall up, the knees are all the way down there. She has to be like one ridiculously tall lady. The fact that her umbrella art is actually bats, actually really cool. She has like a sorrowful look on her face. It's good. The color scheme is very muted, but it works. Especially with the burgundy into the sleeves, and into like parts of the dress. It works, but those knees, what is up with those knees? Like it looks like her foot is like right behind she's bending her ankle rather than her knee. That just looks really creepy. I give this one a B+. No, an A-. I don't think it's that bad. I just really think they should not have bent that. They should not have bent that. That just completely ruined it. I also like the attention to detail. Like she doesn't have a shadow. Like her umbrella has a shadow, but if you look closely, she doesn't. I like that little attention to detail. But I think this is a pretty good looking card. I don't think it's as good as Sheridan or Grace, but it's good. Like I really like this one. Let's see, Crimson, Vampire Crimson. He's basically like the Grim Reaper. I love the design of the scythe. I think the scythe looks awesome. I think he's what I was worried about with Sheridan, where it's just too much. The color scheme actually works because he's supposed to be like a Vampire Grim Reaper-esque sort of thing. But let me see if this is bigger. Yeah, this one's kind of bigger. So we get a little more detail. There's just too much going on. Like I think the mask was too much. I think it's more the mask just kind of draws in that whole thing of just too much going on. I do like the color scheme. I do like the general design. I seriously don't like the mask. I really think the mask is just way too much. Let me go back now. Okay. Him like coming towards you. The background is actually amazing. It kind of fits him like being a Grim Reaper of the very foggy background. Even like the sun, like the moon is fogged. It really fits. And I think this one's under A. Like this guy is really good. I just really don't think that mask was just unnecessary. It was just too much added. Like it would have worked much better if the mask was gone and it was like covering his eyes, or the mask was gone and we just saw blackness with like a red dot. Like signifying like he's coming to get you. That would have worked much better than this. Red Baron. Speaking of too much, I don't even know who this guy's based off. He's basically just a knight. He looks like a vampire Fire Emblem character. What is up with that? The color scheme works, but that's all I can say. Like, this is Grimson, but take it even further. Like, this guy is just over the top. This guy, the horse kind of worked with the armor, but then you have the guy on the horse. I can barely see his face. Like the lance is cool. I like the design of the lance with like having like bats incorporated into the etchings. I thought that's really cool. His cape being in bats, that's kind of weak. Like, he's just bad. I mean, it's not bad like Genesis was. This guy was bad. But in a way, it kind of has a charm. Like, if it was just the horse, or if the shoulder pads were gone, I probably would have liked it. If it wasn't, no, even if the shoulder pad, the pauldrons were less pronounced, I would have preferred that. It's just the shoulder pad looks like he's just a small guy covered in armor. He's like Skulker, so to speak. He's just a tiny little guy in a big suit of armor. And he's like, I'm really tiny. Fear me? It doesn't work. If the horse was by itself, I probably would have given it an A, because the horse looks intimidating, except for the mouth. What the fuck is up with that mouth? It looks like he wants to gum you to death instead of being a vampire horse and I want to suck your blood. He's like, let me gum you to death. Oh my god. I would give it a C. Like, it's just too much for what it was trying to do. Let's continue. Vampire Retainer. I think this is the doggo. Yeah, this is the doggo. I have mixed feelings on this one. Again, I would, before I even get to, I just give this one a C because I don't think it's bad. But just like the bat, there's just nothing really outstanding. There's nothing that really stands out from an aesthetic standpoint. Basically, good doggo, evil doggo, like a werewolf, like. But the problem is they weren't. It's just boring. Like, I like the black and white thing fine. That's the color scheme works, and the mouth thing, like the mouth like going like this. I think I just don't. This is one of those things that I think something's missing from it. That would have made it much better. It's just too plain and doesn't really stand out. Like where's Familiar? Yeah, here's Familiar. With Familiar, you can actually see they tried to do something creative. It's just they were kind of screwed because they were doing something with a bat, and there's not much you could do with a bat. But with Retainer, it's just it looked like they weren't even trying with Retainer. That's what it looks like. They just weren't trying with this guy. Oy. Next up is Vampire Scarlet Scourge. I think this is the best. Yeah, this was like the best one I could get. Let's see if I can find a better. Nope. This is probably the best I could get. Let's see. No. Come on, let me see if I can find a better one. No, this is probably. Hold on. Let's see it. No. Yeah, this is probably the best I'm gonna get. You know what? Let's go to the DeviantArt page. See if we can get this guy bigger. Here we go. Here we go. I should probably, okay. So this is what he looks like. First off, Alan Mac 95, thank you for letting me go on your page and to look at this guy in better detail. This guy looks like Alucard. Like, this guy actually looks like Alucard. He looks like Alucard from Symphony of the Night, just with shorter hair. Like, he's transitioning from Alucard to Archetypal. He's like, I need to blend into the modern day. I shall start with cutting my hair short. And he cuts his hair short. And he's like, alright, what do I do next? I don't know, I'll just make it up as I go along. And he has like a little staff. Staff design, cool, but it does not work with the character. It really doesn't. I think, like, if he was holding like a blade, like he was holding like the blade guard, the thing that you hold a blade in, and he was holding that, and you can actually see the blade. That would have been better. And I don't think that the staff is designed badly. I just think it doesn't fit. The color scheme, this is basically Alucard. Like, it's the Alucard color scheme. He has the white, the black, the silver. He has like the boyish face, the platinum white hair, kind of framing him. Even like the cowl kind of represents Alucard. I don't think this is a really good card. I just. And I like the fact not only is Cape summoning that thing again, but he's actually summoning the back out from his hand. I thought that's a really cool touch. And the inside of the castle again, Vampire Grace would have benefited more from this background than this guy. What do I think of this card? I don't think it's bad. I just want an A-2. It's just, it's a little uninteresting, especially since it looks a lot like Alucard. Yeah, I would have to say this one's not bad. It's not bad. Next one, Vampire Vamp. Oh, yes, this is the one this is basically the waifu of the archetype. This is the one where everyone's like, I'm gonna bang this chick 10 ways to Sunday, and then she's gonna steal your soul because she's a vamp. She's not even a vampire. She's a succubus. A+. I really like the design. Like, they're not even trying to hide the fact that she's not a vampire. Like, like the rings kind of work on her. The color scheme, again, it works. The crosses are in the right places. The fact that she's like half naked. She basically has like a little dress on top that she can just take off and then just flash you. So, like what you see, big boy? She has like a soft nubile face. She's even like pointing the finger, said, I want you to come into bed with me. Like, she's out of bed. Like, how on the nose with a succubus reference can you get? But it works. Like, this is one of those ones that look like if it was an actual vampire, it would have been disgusting. Like, it would have been stupid. It would have been dumb. Outside of the color scheme, nothing would have worked. But since this is obviously supposed to be more of a succubus, it works. Like, the design actually works for like a succubus like type thing. I just really think they should have named. They really should have named her something else instead of Vampire Vamp. That is one of the stupidest names ever. Vampire Vamp. Okay, you're basically just calling her Vampire twice. Like, oh, she's Vampire. No, wait, that doesn't work. Quick, let's get rid of half the word. Oh, Vampire Fire? No, Vampire Vamp. That worked. A. I really like her design. Now we get to Spell and Trap card before we get to the special cards. Vampire Awakening. It's just basically Fraulein just waking up. She looks like a doll. Like the moonlight going across her, and it looks like she's waking up. The fact that I don't like the idea of her bed being made out of bats, I think that's just honestly dumb art choice. Like, okay, fine, the dress, the umbrella, the cape, okay, fine, that's okay, that's understandable. But an entire bed? that is just some weirdo levels of weird. But at least her knees look normal in this one than in her other art. A B. A B. Vampire Dominion. Here's Sheridan, just summoning the retainers and the familiars. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah. Sheridan is sending the wolves and the bats after. Like the wolves and the bats actually work in this art. The problem I have. Let's see if I can find a better looking one. Let's see. No, come on. No, okay. I'm stuck with this one. The problem is Sheridan himself. I get he's supposed to be like a more suave guy with armies and stuff like that, but it really would have made more sense for Duke. This would have made more sense for Vampire Duke to do it instead of Sheridan, because he kind of comes off as it kind of throws him off a little bit because you see only half of him. And it really doesn't work for his design. Like the wolves and the bats, they look cool. Like I like what they did incorporating the wolf, like the two familiar and retainer. Like that works. But Sheridan is just an odd one out. Like I have to give this one a C+. I don't think it's bad. It's just this was just poor choice in design. Next one. Vampire Kingdom. I know what you're gonna say. This is basically Gresham from the Castlevania anime. Like you have the church where the corrupt churchgoers go. You have the gate. You have all the multi-billion. Like the guy the people who work on the anime decided we need to design a town. It's like, hey, look, you want to see my little Yu-Gi-Oh card? It's like, sure. And they show him this card. It's like, we'll do that. It's basically Gretchen from the anime. Like, I'm not even lying. I'm not even joking. I'm not making any jokes. It looks like Gretchen from the anime. That season 1 takes place in. It works as like a Vampire Kingdom because that's what the name of the card is, and it looks empty because Gresham was a lot of people died and everything, and everyone's like afraid. Or it could be the town in. It could be the town that was seen in the first episode. Because from if I remember from far away, it actually does look like this. So I do think this is not bad. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I give this one a B. Like it's bland, but it kind of works with the grays and the red, kind of giving like a slight red shine to the top of the castle. I think it works. I just think it's bland, but it's better. It's pretty good. Vampire Takeover. Basically has Sorcerer doing something. It does not work. I think it would have made more sense for it to be the front of. I don't know, something's off. I do not like this art. Like, first off, what is Sorcerer doing? Like, he's unleashing a wave with I guess making a full moon, or blood moon, whichever one. This is just, it looks like Dracula City, just Dracula's vampire sorcerer appeared in modern day times and just like we're gonna do something wrong. Like, hold on, and he's like unleashing something. It's like vampires are real, fear us. He looks non-threatening. I think a different angle would have been better. Like we see sorcerer from the front, and he's like posing, I think, or doing something. Like I think that would have worked better than from behind him, it just completely kills the art, what they were going for with the artwork of Vampire Takeover. Or they could have done something like vampires, like the retainers and the familiars attacking people. Like we could have seen like random people running and the retainer and like the bats and the wolves are like chasing people and like sorcerers in the background directing them. Or Sheridan. Sheridan would have worked better for Takeover in terms of art style. That would have made so much more sense because he's the type of guy who would lead. This is just not works. Let's see. Vampire Desire. This is basically Scourge turning into bats. I mean, this one's pretty cool. This is probably the best looking one of the spell and trap ones. Again, just like with Domination, the retainers are actually look pretty intimidating here with like monsters like looking like more like they're interlinked into each other instead of just melding into it. Like they're not just link, and it comes off very intimidating. Especially with the eye. This is what Scourge could have been. Like the face of Grimson. Where is he? That style of face would have worked better for him. Like it's just A. I give this art style an A. The bats, the cloud, the mist rolling in, it just makes everything, and the blood moon in the background just makes everything just give this like this gothic atmosphere. So we're in the final 5. And we're actually done with the traditional vampire cards, except for one. But there were a couple other cards that are just more named after vampires. One of them was actually a fan-created card. And a special one that we'll see right here. So let's go. First off, I forgot about Vampire's Domain. I forgot about this one. Grimson. This is what Grimson should have been. This is what Grimson should have been. A plus. I completely forgot. I thought Desires was the best looking one. This one looks just so intimidating. It really sells the whole idea that he's the Grim Reaper. This is so cool, especially with the red coloring scheme, the scythe. I think the scythe could have been like a little longer and a little bit curved more to really make it more intimidating. But this is what they should have done with the actual art of Grimson. Like, just made the top, just the head black with that red light. That would have been so much better. A plus. A plus, right next to Grace and Sheridan. Okay, so now we're in, like, the weird ones. Vampire Baby. Oi. What can I say about this thing? This thing was, like, old. It's basically Kid Dracula. Said, where's Galamoth? Like, we need a Galamoth card. Where is it? Where is he? Hello, I'm Baby Dracula. I am gonna headbutt you and pop you and cry until I get my daily dose of O negative. This probably has the best blood moon, which is kind of saying something because that one had an amazing blood moon too, but this one has the best blood moon. This one actually looks like it's someone just like someone took like an actual picture of a blood moon and like photoshopped it onto a card, and then it's like, let's have this amazing moon and let's just put like a derpy little baby vampire right in front of it. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. A C. Like, I mean, the color scheme works, but it's just so ridiculous. If the lights were red, I probably would have given it at least a B minus. I think the blue eyes just completely detract because all the other vampires, they always had like these dark reddish eyes. and maybe if the color scheme was like a little more paler, then I think it would have worked. Now here's another ridiculous one. Vampire Dragon. This was actually created by someone, and they decided to turn it into a card. And this one just looks very stupid. It looks like, first off, that doesn't look like a vampire. It looks more like a serpent with like, I can see someone turning a picture of this guy into the "Do you even lift, bro?" meme. Do you even lift, bro? And he has like a one-eyed glare. He's like, I'm coming after you, and I'm about to outflex ya. Like, I like the serpentine design. I actually like the color scheme, especially since unlike other vampires, this one's more of a golden, like a harvest moon, instead of a blood moon. I think that actually worked because it's not technically a vampire. So I thought it actually worked. Oh, I actually completely forgot one. It kind of worked. I'd give this one a B-. I think the fact that it's muscular just completely ruins it. Like, why would a vampire dragon be ripped? Like, it looks like he was at Venice Beach lifting weights, getting ready, like doing his reps. Just it really just. I think maybe if you made him like not muscular, got rid of the arms, added wings, all along the body, and instead of like a regular eye, you added a cat's eye. That actually would have been intimidating. Like, just picture that. No arms, completely skim. The entire body is like littered with wings, like it's gliding. Like it has a more serpentine mouth, and the eye it's a cat's eye. That actually would have worked. I actually would have gave it A+ if it was that design, but it's just, why is it so muscular? Now I actually forgot about this card. This guy right here. I think this is Sheridan, but he turns into a vampire. I do think it looks like Sheridan. Kind of. Okay, so I really like this design. No, wait, no. I'm actually... You know what? No, I'm actually going to leave him for if I ever do numbers. I'll talk more about him when I do numbers. Which, there's going to be a lot of number cards. Like, let's just be... That'll probably be like a two-parter. So, let's continue. We have two more cards. First one is Vampire Sukur. And... It looked like whoever made that card was watching too much anime and decided to, let's just make the most random card ever. Good lord, this is overdone. Let's talk about the color scheme. Okay, she's based off a Daywalker. The color scheme is neon. I get what they were trying to go for, because around this card was made, vampires have been kind of becoming like more neon colored and stuff like that, like crazy rainbow color that's bluish pinks. So in that sort of way, it kind of works. But looking at this card, not only in comparison to like every single other card art, but by itself, it's just it's just overdone. It is just the most overdone thing ever. I do think the art has a sort of charm to it. Like, I honestly do believe it has a charm, but it's just way too much. Like I said, they were going for like an anime aesthetic with her, like making her more like what most people think of vampires nowadays, like neon overly peppy types, I can't think of any vampire wives. The main vampire girl from Rosario Vampire. There. I think that works. I don't know if that works. So let's start. Let's see. First off, like, we have bats just around here, but they're not bats, they're bunnies. Or something. They're not really bats, but... And she's holding them, and she's like... feeling up her teeth, and she has go-go boots. She has, like, boots. Like heels. Like, but they're not heels. They're more like go-go style heels. She has cow skin jacket. It looks like she's shitting on a mushroom, or she's using her wings to float up. It's just, in a weird sort of way, it looks good, but at the same time, it just looks so bad. Like, it's a so bad it's good sort of deal. That's why I'm kind of conflicted on how to rate this story, this art, because it does look good, but at the same time, it's a case of way too much. But on the other hand, it's an example of way too much, but done actually pretty decently. Like, the wings, like, instead of, like, bat wings, she has, like, more as, like, owl wings, sort of thing. Like, it looks like she, like, instead of, like, blood, like, when she takes something, like, she absorbs a part of them, and so she tries to add it to herself. Like, you see animal ears underneath her hat. So, it's really hard to rate this art. It's really hard. I would actually give it a B minus, because I do think the art has a charm, but I do still think it's a little too overdone. Now, the last card. And, for those of you who are fans of Castlevania, who is that? Who are you? Are you Juiced? Are you Leon? Are you Soma? You're basically Belmont. You're Belmont. I love this art. This is so awesome. He basically has the stoic face of Leon. He has the hair of Soma. He has the vampire color. He has the cool cape. There's freaking Castlevania in the background with the harvest moon. He has the belts. He has everything. This is a freaking badass looking card. I know this will be biased because I'm a huge Castlevania fan, but I have to give this guy an A+. Let's go over the details. First off, the color scheme. The pure white with the slightly gray, with the silverish white, with the slightly black edges, and the coloring scheme of the back and the harvest moon all play all together completely well. Like, this is just so completely good. Like, I really love the coloring scheme. Unlike the rest of the vampires, which only tangibly look like are more based off the horror. Like, this is basically literally just a Belmont. Like, they're not even trying to hide the fact this is a Belmont. It makes sense because, it's Konami. They own the rights to Castlevania, so of course they would make a character based off of Belmont if they were going. Since they made vampires, they would make a vampire hunter. His posture, his face, he looks like Richter. No. If I had to pick any vampire hunter, he would be Leon. Like, he looks a lot like a photo negative-esque Leon Belmont. Where, since he rocks the white and red, but this guy's rocking silverish white and black. And the hair, it's basically just think of Leon Belmont with Soma Cruz's hair, because that's basically Soma's hair. With the fall kind of rolling in classic Castlevanias, because sometimes when the character poses, there is some sort of mist play involved, and the castle in the background. It looks like an actual video game Castlevania title screen, like artwork you see on the cover of a Castlevania game. This looked like it. Like, you could show me if I wasn't a fan of if I wasn't a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And only kind of knew about Castlevania, and you show me this guy, I would say, is that a new Castlevania game? That's cool. But this guy just looked amazing. A+. Like, no, like, everything about this guy just plays off so well of the Castlevania aesthetic. So, what would be... So, that's it. So, final grade. Like, with the exception of, like, two or three, like, all the vampire cards are in the B's and A's, like a couple other. I would have to give this a final score of an A-. Like, it's just there's a lot of good looking cards. Weakest card, Vampire Genesis. Just no. I would rather take the Retainer and Familiar over this piece of trash. Best looking vampire card, it's actually going to be a tie between Vampire Hunter and Vampire Grace. If it wasn't for Grace, Vampire Hunter would have been easily number one. But Grace is just that good looking a card. Like, from a pure aesthetic artwork style standpoint, she looks amazing. Like, if it wasn't for Hunter, she would be number one. And if it wasn't for Grace, Hunter would be number one. With Sheridan right behind them. Like, these three. But if I had to pick between Grace and Hunter, like, if I had to choose between these two, and you told me I only had to pick one, I would actually slightly go with Grace. Because I think there's just more going for her from a standpoint. Well, this one just looks like a Belmont, a really good-looking Belmont, but... Okay, this is actually hard, like... Like, you have a Belmont right here, but the background's good, but Grace herself looks just much better than Hunter. That is the shocking part, that Grace looks actually better than Hunter, but the problem is she doesn't have a good background, but he is a good-looking card, but has an amazing background. That's what I think just narrowly edges out Grace herself, because if Grace had any sort of better background, like from Fraulein, where is she? If Grace had Fraulein's background, she would actually break the scale. Like, I would literally break the scale for her. That's how good looking she is. And the fact that the only reason she's not a higher rank is the background, while Hunter, the background and the design actually play like a sort of synergy that just really makes him good. But if he didn't have this background, he would actually look horrible. Like, if it was like a background like this would be dragged down a couple inches. But she manages to put it off with the horrible background. And that's what I think just gives Grace just a slight edge over Hunter. So yeah, worst would be Genesis, best would be Grace, barely beating Hunter, barely beating the Belmont. And overall, I really love this. I really love the sort of like evolution of the artwork. Yeah, Grace just looks awesome. I really love Grace. So tell me in the description below, tell me in the comment section below, which card do you think is the best looking card and why, or the worst looking card and why. So this has been Dark Symphony 777 and cut.